Welcome to Warlord Radio. We are back. So today we have Sam, who has been on the show in the past.
Yes,
He's had many
I'm here again.
hot takes, and Sam is the king of not sugarcoating shit, so this should be real fun. I am Carrick, and this is Craig, as you know, but we're really happy to have you in, man. Thanks for coming in.
Right on, no problem.
So
Thanks
what are we talking about today, fellas? Because I have not checked my email in several days.
So this was Christian's idea, but we're actually going to cover top 5 black metal bands.
Yes.
Okay.
Right on.
First off, I don't know why anybody would be watching this show if they didn't know what black metal was, but like, tell them a little bit just about like what makes black metal different from like other genres.
Because me and Joe were having that conversation earlier today at practice, actually.
Yeah. So. But like for me, black metal's always been more about like say emotion more than like technicality. Kind of like trying to give an air of like desperation and like awfulness.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I would agree with that. That's a good point, because most people, what I would point to just in I would think of like musical things like tremolo picking, blast beat, but that's a good point though, because that is an overarching thing even through like, whether it's Burzum, Marduk, it's an emotion, whether it's anger or,
hatred or
melancholy or whatever.
Yeah,
it's very emotionally driven, for sure. I agree with that.
The corpse paint and the big spikes, like if you see that, that's typically black metal or like the biggest poser on the fucking planet.
Which aren't mutually exclusive.
They're not mutually exclusive, you're right. Black metal's funny to me because like sometimes those guys can take themselves so fucking seriously.
Yes.
And it's like, calm down, Skeletor, like you are not a supervillain. Like chill.
I feel you.
One of my favorite stories about black metal is going up to Michigan to play a metal fest and seeing a young black metal band arrive in their mom's their
like
mom's
a minivan?
like no, it was more like a
like a Tercel.
Yeah, like a Tercel. And then putting makeup in the back seat, like while mom is sitting there in the parking lot, and then having them go on stage, and they did perfectly fine.
Maybe not for nothing, salute to that mom though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
sure,
saying?
yeah.
But it's just kind of funny to see that backstage element to it.
Right, for sure.
It's always a crack up. But
So that's black
sometimes,
metal.
It's like, corpse paint's nuts anyway, because like that shit, I've worn it on stage before. It's so fucking hot. Like you have to cake that shit onto your face.
Yeah.
Like Kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And god, yeah, it's fucking awful.
I can't do that, but yeah, I guess that's pretty much what black metal is.
So we'll keep this loose. We'll consider whatever you consider black metal is you can put on it, but started off, Carrick, like in no particular order. Like, what's your top 5?
Well, fuck Mark Vikernes. First off, I was gonna say that as a person, fuck you. I am probably going to listen to his new album just out of morbid curiosity, though.
I mean,
so he's going to get his fucking $7.
I told you though, is that's Varg the Grey, and now there's Varg the White.
Yeah,
so
there was a transformation.
that's right.
Varg Vikernes defeats Balrog. Let's find out.
Well, when he killed Euronymous in the mines of Moria,
he ascended.
He ascended,
Yeah.
and he became Varg the White that is espousing peace.
I realized that a man died, but those two fucking nerds. Like,
I
calm
understand.
down.
Believe me, I'm with you. When I watched Lords of Chaos, I was like, well, I don't know how true this is, but if it was like half true, these guys are the biggest nerds in the universe, dude.
But okay, so if I'm gonna start off, my all-time favorite black metal group is probably Immortal. I fucking love Immortal. I love Abbott. I love his solo shit. I love like everything that guy's ever really touched. I fucking like his tone. I like the way he plays. I like everything about it. He's also fucking hilarious.
Yes,
like his interviews are hysterical.
He's a personality for sure.
He is. But I was talking about people that take themselves way too seriously, because Gorgoroth is on my list. Or Gorgoroth.
Yeah.
And that man.
Oh, Gaul.
Yeah.
He thinks he is Satan. Like, I think so.
I think, because I know, like, I think I know, like, that Vice thing where he's being, like, extra creepy. I think he just knew those were punk-ass motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah.
And was just like, watch how creepy I can be.
But also, he did that other interview. This is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. They were like, what is black metal to you? And I kid you not, he sits there
for like a minute.
Around wine and just goes... I was just like, fuck yeah. But I like their band. I've seen them.
Gorgoroth is sick.
Yeah, their live shows on YouTube and shit. I've never seen them like
Carving a
live.
Giant is such a sick ass song, dude.
Yeah. So I put Gorgoroth on that list.
Solid.
Dark Throne, of course.
Yes.
Okay.
So how many? That's 4. Shit.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that is for you.
Ooh. I think my last one, because I really fucking like Behemoth, but I don't think that's it. I'm trying to think. I think Celtic Frost, just because that was the first black metal band I ever fucking heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I found that album in a secondhand CD store in like 2000. I pulled that shit out of a fucking and I just the cover of it was I can't even remember which album it was. If I looked at the album art, I can tell you.
To Megatherion with the fucking Christ catapult.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Or maybe Morbid Tales with the red logo on there.
It was. I just remember this thing being stark black. It had a picture of the band on the back, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I think that was Morbid Tales. But anyway,
might be right. But anyway, so yeah. But like that was the first time I ever heard black metal, and I remember distinctly because I was at that age. I was like 14 or 15, where I was starting to become a real punk ass.
True.
And my dad came in and he was like, "You need to turn this shit this garbage off." And I was like, "Nope, this is the one. This is shit right here." Yeah, dude. I loved it.
Dude, I love Tom Warriors.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of those. Dude, big fan.
All right, well that's a solid list.
So to recap: Immortal, Dark Throne, Golgoroth. What else did I say?
Shit, I don't remember now, dude.
Dark Throne.
I think you said Dark Throne twice.
Damn it! All right, you guys can go back a couple seconds and recap yourselves.
Immortal, Dark Throne, Golgoroth,
Celtic
Frost.
I think you got one more in there.
Yeah, I thought you did when you said 4. I could have sworn you only named 3.
I think you got one more. We'll give you one more. We'll give you a gimme.
Ooh, shit. I like Demu, dude.
Demu?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Although, would you count? I don't know if Bishop of Hexen is black metal.
Fuck yeah, they are.
Black metal.
I mean, it's still black metal.
I would actually switch it to Bishop of Hexen.
I fucking love deep cut, dude. Deep cut.
All right. So nice.
Serpentine Crave.
I think that's one of the baddest metal songs I've ever heard in my life. Like, go look it up. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, dude.
Nice list. All right, Sam.
All right. Number 1, I'm gonna go Dissection.
Nice.
Yeah.
The rest of the list isn't so much in order, but if I had to pick the number 1, it'd be Dissection. Storm of the Light's Bane, if you've listened to it.
That's solid as hell.
You absolutely should. Another guy, fuck the guy, not a good guy, very good music.
Right.
All right. I would also go Goat Whore.
Yeah.
Goat Whore for sure.
Solid.
Very, very solid. They don't have a bad album.
I feel like Goat Whore is actually,
I love them live too.
Yeah, they're great.
They're kind of underrated for like where they're at. That's the echelon, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of what I think too. Like they don't make like super pomp and circumstance black metal or like mystical, pagan type shit.
No, it's real nasty,
but it's real punky type shit. And I like that. And Bill Falgas is a fantastic front man.
Yes.
Indeed.
Also, Sammy Duet used to be in Acid Bath. Their guitarist.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's Dissection and Goat Whore. Fuck. Aeson, I'd have to say. I wrestled with saying Aeson or Emperor for a while, but I'd have to go with Aeson, even though like
that's bold over Emperor.
Yeah, his later output you could say is kind of erring less on the side of black metal. But like the first 3 albums, Adversary, Angel After, and even Arctis, I would say, are all pretty.
So what's the best one of those?
It's fucking hard. If you'd asked me like 5 years ago, I'd have said I would have said the Adversary like 4 or 5 years ago, but I like Arctis a lot. But as a whole album, yeah, the Adversary is probably the best one, I think. So that's 3. I've thought about I've got to say Dimmu Borgir.
Yeah.
Like I felt like that was just too much of a gimme, but like I listened to too much of their shit.
We talked about this before. Like once a band's like sometimes it's like a certain popularity point, people start shitting on them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck that, dude. Like Dimmu Borgir is so fucking great.
Yeah.
It's gotten better like over time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. They haven't like gotten considerably worse. I'll say.
No, I mean like in terms of like maybe not like album, like I'm talking like quality, you know what I mean? Like it's always solid and polished and like perfect, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's for sure. And then I'd probably have to say, this one was real. Is between Mizmor and Dark Funeral for the last spot, and I probably have to say Mizmor because I listen to them more often. Mm-hmm. But I would give Dark Funeral the honorable mention. For sure.
Good shit.
And also, just real quick, listen to Hordes of the Morning Star, because I really thought very strongly about putting them on there. They only have one album, though, so it's
Hordes of the Morning Star?
I've
never heard of them.
They were a band from San Antonio.
Okay.
They only have one album that was like in 2011. It's really good shit.
I'll check that out. All right. Killer. All right, well, I'm going to agree with Carrick. My number 1 is Immortal. Just Immortal. By definition of that is the black metal I listen to the most. Like, I'll go through phases on if I, want to hear like later era stuff, or if I want to go like Blizzard Beasts or
Sure,
The
sure.
really
that type of
early
stuff.
Immortal stuff was like so nasty.
Yeah.
You know what I
The
mean?
demonized
Like,
era, yeah, for sure.
So,
it was like evil sounding. You
But
know
it's
what I mean?
it's also good, and then the fact that they have just classic stuff like At the Heart of Winter and
Yes.
Sons of Northern Darkness.
Yes, Sons of
are
Northern Darkness.
Just
They're-
2 amazing albums. And also, I love ABBA's solo stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm not including that. I'm trying to stick to
Right.
individuals, but so Immortal for me. I got to go with Satyricon.
That's solid.
I'm a big fan of Satyricon.
That's one that I never. Maybe you should tell me an album to try to listen to, because maybe I'm
Okay.
listening to all the wrong shit. But everyone I know that I respect tells me that they're good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We all have bands like that.
Well, I mean, they've got, they're one of the bands that divides a lot of people because their sound evolves.
Sure.
Kind of like his song
Much
does.
like Emperor.
Yeah. And so there's some people that like the pure kind of like necro sounding early days.
Sure.
And then they transitioned where they did different stuff, like on Nemesis Divina, like added some like electronic elements and stuff like
Okay.
that. And
They
got kind of weird and stuff
So
like
it's
that.
a band of phases.
Yeah,
Okay,
bands of
okay.
phases, and
Okay, I
then
got
they
you.
also went through an area where they were like more stripped down and bare. And Frost, who's a legendary drummer,
Yeah.
was doing
Oh, yeah.
far less blasting, and some people don't like that, but I kind of like parts of all of it.
He drums for 1349
Yeah.
as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, indeed. So Satyricon is a strong one for me. Going along with what you guys said about Dimmu Borgir, actually the one that nudges that out for me is Old Man's Child.
Oh,
See, I
good
never
choice.
listened to a whole lot of. I'm aware. Of course, I'm aware
Vermin is
of
one
Old
of
Man's
the
Child,
best
yeah.
black metal albums ever made.
Okay.
in my
So,
opinion.
and I agree,
don't think I've
but
heard
my
it.
personal favorite is the one before that, In Defiance.
In Defiance,
Exists.
that's really good too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the main guitar player in Old Man's Child is Galder, who that was his band, and then he joined Dimmu, and then he kind of kept Old Man's Child going. And I
yeah.
love his songwriting, and I love Dimmu as well.
Sure.
But I think there's something for me that just puts Old Man's Child a little bit ahead.
I almost would tend to agree with you on, because especially as a guitar player, like a lot of the stuff he does a lot more for me than the stuff like Sylvanas writes for Dimmu Borgir.
Right.
And, you know what I mean? So I get that.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
And then my next 2 are, man, it was fucking tough narrowing it down. But I tried to stick with, well, what do I
saw
actually
your list already.
listen to the most? And so I got to go with Behemoth.
I love Behemoth.
love Behemoth.
Fuck.
I
I'll
love
listen to
Oh
them.
Father, Oh Satan, Oh Son.
Again,
I love that whole
the
fucking
Satanist,
album.
again, one of the, if not of the past 10 years, probably of all time. The Satanist is one of the best black metal
Yeah,
albums.
it's so good. Or, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Satan is the name of the album. But yeah, like that track is fucking great.
Every song.
Yeah, every song on that album is fucking amazing. Nurgle also, that dude is crazy.
Yeah.
I follow him on Instagram, which is, a really metal thing to fucking say.
Right?
But,
He's got one.
no, he does like fucking, it's like yoga videos and just him walking around in satanic clothes fucking with people, and it's fucking hilarious.
I mean,
He's a
look,
wild dude.
Dude survived cancer, came back strong.
Yeah.
He's in arguably the biggest, black metal band ever.
Probably
Yeah.
the biggest Polish band ever,
Oh, yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
And
they were decapitated.
they put on a hell of a show, and I dig their music.
Live is amazing. They're just, it is so
I've not
visual.
seen them live, and it makes me so upset.
Oh, they're so
I want to see
visual.
them so
They're
bad.
good. I will occasionally hear people hating on Behemoth, and I just don't understand.
That's another band where like people seem to like certain eras. Like most people I know like say I like the like Zoskaya occultist demigod type era,
Yeah.
but
Which
they
I do
don't
too.
like the. Yeah, so do I. But
Yeah.
they don't really like the Satanists, which I
like the
don't get.
Satanists.
Yeah.
That's such a good album, like front to back.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then other one for me it was fucking like splitting hairs, but at the end of the day, it came down to Belphegor.
Belphegor's fucking
Strong.
awesome.
Yeah.
I was talking to you about this the other day. What is it, Under the Northern Sky, or
You're thinking of Bork Nagar.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
Which is also
Frozen
a great
North.
band.
Yeah, Frozen North. My bad. I fucking
And Parasitism's my one for that.
That would
Yeah.
be yes, me as well. Me as well.
But Belphegor, man, they're so good, and I was blown away seeing them live for the first time 2 years ago.
evidently don't know who Belphegor is.
You said we were talking about. I was like, we were.
I was sitting there like, I was thinking of Borknagar this entire time when you said that. That's my bad.
But yeah, they're another one of those bands that kind of like rides the line between black metal and death metal.
Okay.
And they've been around for at least 20 years.
Yeah, 'cause they just did the re-release of whatever it is, Necrodemon Terror Sathan.
Yeah. But live, they're so good. Like, live, they really fucking.
Yeah, you saw them when they came through last year. I was going to, but I'm sad I missed it.
And that always impresses me greatly when a band like really delivers live. So those, although the one that I forever could not bring myself to take off the list, and it was like on and off and on and off, is Rotting Christ.
Fucks yeah.
Yeah.
Hard agree.
Yeah.
Hard agree. Rotting Christ is strong.
Yeah.
So like one of those bands that I just kind of listened to because it like pissed people off around me.
Yeah, I understand. Fair enough. Oddly enough, that guy, I can't remember the vocalist's name now, but he was featured on a Christian black metal's yeah, and they're actually good. They were. They're not anymore. Two members turned to Kabbalism. Anyways, fucking.
How's that? How are you gonna fuck up a Christian black metal band?
By being a Kabbalist, I guess. I don't fucking. That's what I read. Anyways,
oh my God, that's so fucking funny.
He does a vocal feature on one of their songs. Like I said, it's Temple of Perdition is the band name. But and I was like, how does that make any sense? You're Rotting Christ. But he said Rotting Christ is this is a little extra trivia. Fucking he said Rotting Christ is like Christ is just a placeholder for like any religious god figure because all religions are rotting in his opinion. That's what he said. So there you go. Here's why you don't act like you're a fan of a band if you're not, especially around people like me and these guys.
Oh, I know what you're about to say.
Yeah, you know. So a certain woman, not a bad person, just anyway. Kristen was wearing a Rotting Christ shirt, and she said she loves that band, which we all were, naturally surprised because you know the person I'm talking about.
We're like, awesome. Yeah, that's like, fucking cool.
That's pretty cool.
Who Rotting Christ is.
And so Kristen, being Kristen, says, "Well, what's your favorite album?" And she gives the instant red flag answer: all of them.
She celebrates their entire catalog.
Right. She's a Michael Bolton fan.
Yeah.
But then she did the exact same thing with Rivers of Nile.
Yeah.
And a week later. So don't do that.
Yeah. We are nerds and we will call you out.
Don't lie to kick it.
Well, to be fair though, is like when you come across someone that's into nerdy shit like you, it's like you ask them that question because you honestly want to know to compare.
Well,
it's
right.
Like if you told me you were into comic books and I was like, who's your favorite superhero? And then you were like, Batman. I'm like Garfield. I'm like, what the fuck?
or if you were just like,
Bailey.
I just like all of them.
No comic fan just likes all. Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, there are bands where I can be like, yeah, I pretty much like Black Dahlia Murder, but I can point to one that I don't like for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway.
Don't lie to kick it.
Yeah, that's our black metal segment. Please check out some black metal. Post in the comments any bands that you think that we royally fucked up. Or list your own. Cause
if you know any bands that we didn't mention that we may not have even heard of, like
it's really hard to narrow it down, and I've got like a whole list of bands.
I've got a local honorable mention.
That's what I was going to say. I've got you, Tyrannosaurus Sorcerers.
I've heard their music, but I've never I don't even know if they play shows or anything.
Right.
But Wormchasm.
Ooh,
I fucking love Wormchasm, dude. I listen to it all the time.
Solid band, solid dudes.
Local mention Sparrows real quick. All right,
Sparrows is badass as well.
There you go. All right, well, guys, thank you so much.
You're listening to Warlord Radio Podcast. Please hit like and subscribe at the bottom.